Communists have been elected in South Africa, and they're enforcing land reforms and giving speeches where they say that all whites in South Africa, especially the farmers, are criminals for taking the land. And every time they have these speeches, there is a surge of murders of white South African farmers in which they're tortured and robbed. But the government says they're just robberies. In the past, when the state of South Africa mandated the sale of lands from white farmers to the blacks sold them right back to the whites. Basically, this is just going to be another Soviet-style agricultural collapse. Mass starvation. Even though all the Antifa guys are wearing masks, they hated being filmed. When they saw me with the camera, they'd send two girls out to yell at me, while some of the others with the flags on thick sticks would attempt to flank me. When they were done protesting, they had to get me to leave so they could remove their masks. The rest of the video will be an unedited clip of me following the Antifa boys as they march around the South Africa High Commission, which was holding a vigil for the Dutch farmers who were murdered at the time. The cops were around the park at the intersection of Thomas Street and Stanley Street at 10 a.m., but they left at around 11 a.m., half an hour before Antifa was scheduled to show up. I didn't want to hurt anyone, and it's actually in Canadian law that you have to run away from an aggressor if you can. So, anyway, enjoy. So I'm recording this one day after it took place. Yeah, the audio on the my Ecan H9 action camera wasn't too good because it was in a waterproof case. So maybe it's obvious, but I would use a voice recorder and in the other hand next time. So this is at the intersection of the South African High Commission. On the left, there were cops all along the road. The police really didn't do anything. They didn't touch any of the Antifa people. I think that's probably because if they had, if Antifa took pictures of them being beaten up by cops or getting mass pepper sprayed, then they would just come back in greater numbers next time. By recruiting people through the shock. I really don't think I appreciated at the time why they would be so on edge, the Antifa protesters, because acting like a psycho in public is pretty dangerous. And if I just had video of them charging me or trying to hit me, and then I later took one of their masks off and you can identify them, that would definitely lead to police charges. Not that I would do that anyway. I mean, I wouldn't charge them. So that yellowish building on the left there, that's the South African embassy. And their big stand was yelling at some cars in that roundabout. I mean, that was kind of the climax. I suppose they were expecting more people like me to show up. Yeah, here's this news guy. I told him they're crazy. Don't go near them. They'll run at you. That's one thing I didn't. I think I should mention is that at one time I lost one of my gloves, running from them, and one of the girls picked it up and gave it to me. So you know these people aren't totally irredeemable. Not even a little bit irredeemable. I just mean him. That was a pretty rare act of kindness from someone who's supposed to hate you. So that camera guy on the right, you hear he's gonna go ask him like what he wants, and he tells him he's from Reuters, and Reuters has a history with Antifa. They called them a peace group when they were protesting at Trump rallies in the U.S. I haven't seen his article yet. If he was from Reuters, he has like a big scope on his camera, so I think he was taking pictures from far away, and he's just following them now. But if he was fibbing, then I guess that's one way to go about it. But that's not my style. I'll go right in there. Yeah, he was telling the reporter guy on the right, or the cameraman, that nothing escalated, but like the second I got there, they started charging me and stuff. That's one thing I didn't capture on footage, so you just have to take my word for it. But yeah, they were trying to like, I was standing behind cars across the road from them, and they were trying to flank me and stuff. These two guys with the flags, like the flag's their weapon, probably. If you see the guy with the helmet, you know he was one of them. One of them had a bike lock in a holster on their waist. I don't know what this is about. They go over to the like guards at that estate looking thing. Oh yeah, I think they were expecting more people to be there. The guards actually tell them that there was a group that came there before. But I got to that park where this all started at like 10. So I didn't see anybody, and I was walking around here too earlier. So they were lying to him. I actually tell them that they were lying. You know, I don't like the state either. I don't like the cops either. The cops really aren't necessarily my friends. I'm just telling the truth. Yeah, you can see I carry all my camera gear in this like black, like tactical fanny pack kind of thing. I think that's a really good idea because if you don't have a backpack to like slow you down while running, and it's all in front of you. So earlier I was asking them what their political position was, like if they like big government and all that. Well, I was really just talking to one guy who was holding the banner back at the park, and yeah, he was like totally drugged out. I mean, he didn't really seem like he was aware or anything. He gave me answers like that's just how it is and all that. So these people probably aren't too informed about what the black red flag means. That it's like anarcho-communist and that they're not supposed to believe in private property. And like, yeah, the guy gave me some really weird answer, like this is public space, so you should leave. Like I don't think what the hell is he talking about? I guess it would have been cooler if I was in front of him and all that. People were telling me that they're violent. Like I should expect them to be violent. Yeah, I was telling the cops they were chasing me around and all that. I wasn't really thinking things through at the time. I was just yeah, that's right. My server's a Raspberry Pi. And you can hear them chanting up ahead. They didn't say a single thing about anything specific in South Africa that they don't like. If you want to know more about that, I suggest you look up Stefan Molyneux, South Africa. He has like 3 videos on it. They say it's a conspiracy theory, but I don't think so. The evidence just doesn't support that. Yeah, I'm pretty good at running and stuff. Like I do, I like Muay Thai and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. But even if you think you have martial skill, it's still like every time you fight someone, it's like Dungeons and Dragons. You know, you might get like +10 or whatever, but to your attack roll, but they might roll like a 20. You know, it's just a big risk every time. And I didn't want to lose my camera. Like the only way I could have failed this was if I had gotten all the footage and then my camera was destroyed or stolen. Here's where things get really spicy, if I remember correctly. Running at each other like freaking cavemen. I was trying to get in front of them at this point. There really wasn't a lot of them, right? There's like, what, 12? I was kind of disappointed. I was expecting like two big groups.
That was lousy, guys. People don't even know what you're talking about. You should have had a speech or something.
Yeah, it was lousy. No one knew what they were going on about. Like no one knew necessarily that there was some apartheid, or I mean, South Africa thing. It's not apartheid anymore. Anyway, they're anti-fascist, so I must be a fascist, right? Because I'm anti-them.
I'm not racist.
Don't feel bad about running away. Oh yeah, right here, some guy's chasing me, right? Maybe you see him. That's me at full sprint. I was wearing steel toes. They couldn't catch me.
You're a bunch of assholes. I'm sorry, you guys aren't assholes. I'm just. Why are you so angry? I'm Jewish.
Oh yeah, I said I'm Jewish, because right. I mean, they were trying to call me like some bad white man. I'm just a mad white man trying to torture them with my words. I deserve all the violence, right? I mean, words are violence, right, people? So here's typical what they do. That's two girls in black at the front, and there's some guy on the right. I think does he have a flagpole? Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. So I'm supposed to talk. Yeah, it's all rolled up. See, his flagpole's rolled up. He's gonna use it as a club, or he would, I think. But I'm supposed to like talk to the two girls because I like talking to girls, and then he would hit me in the head or something and take my camera. How stupid do they think I am? Like, I'm gonna think the guy's just going for a stroll. And so at this point, I think they were done. And if they had taken their masks off in front of me, of course I would have filmed them all. And if they had tried to like all go home, I would have followed them. So I suppose they were talking before like how we get rid of this guy. So they're gonna try to kind of get me to go to the police. I don't think they're used to dealing with people who aren't gonna be like just totally run away when people give them a hard time. You know. Like I don't get mentally broken just when people oppose me or are unreasonable.
What do you guys assume I'm a white supremacist?
Yeah, what do they assume? I'm a white supremacist.
I'm a libertarian.
Now yeah, I couldn't hear what some guy was saying. He said libertarians are, so I assume he said white supremacists,
America
which
belongs
is
to whoever
absurd.
calls it best. Even the Zulus recognize conquest. So, are you saying it doesn't belong to the people who live there now because they conquered it from whoever was there before?
Yeah, then maybe you can't hear this guy, but he says
What are you talking about?
when the whites
White,
came,
white owned, white made, white maintained.
yeah, I mean they developed the land, right? So it should be theirs. I mean, if you have like it's a hot, dry place. It's hard to make a farm there. So these people made the farm. I wasn't giving them the finger. I was pointing at them right there. I think. Oh no, I was saying stop to the car. That's right. Yeah, so it's a hot, dry place. So these people make these farms there, and they feed like 8,000 people each. So that's pretty amazing. And I think that kind of makes it their land, right? But these people are. I mean, according to their political theory, they don't believe in private property. Only personal property, like your toothbrush or your shoes, should be yours. But if you work on land, somehow you're exploiting people. You have to be exploiting people to succeed in that.
Jack,
My name's Jack. I told him my name. Yeah.
Jack,
Not my last name, though. They asked for my last name.
yeah.
I call them, like, crazy or stupid for that. That was kind of me just losing my temper.
Give you the true answer? Are you crazy?
Because, talking to people sometimes is just like, it's like computer hacking, you just ask questions and you might get a response. You might get an answer.
You can run all the way to the cops if you want.
And yeah, the Zulus, right? They like conquered South Africa before the people who were. I mean, they conquered South Africa from the people who were living there now, who they like ruled over afterwards. But then that black guy said that the whites came and it was colonialism, so it's different. So if you conquer land and you have a nicer place to go to besides that land, that's bad. But if you don't, that's good. I don't really believe in violent conquering of land anyway. But that just don't seem right. That's not really. I don't see why it's any worse. So we were standing here, and I pretended to draw like a revolver, like in an old cowboy movie, just to be funny. But yeah, it makes me think if this was in Texas or something, this wouldn't happen this way. I really don't hate these people, but I find it kind of sad. You see them here and they're obviously misguided, or they're obviously just trying really hard to fit into a group. Or they just have anger. Or they're like LARPers. You know? There's a lot of reasons why they might be doing what they're doing. Yeah, so here, stay low and like keep your hands up around people. You don't want to get double leg takedown. Yeah, but good posture, Don't have your back curved. So here the cops come and I like talk to them and stuff, and I think they might have tried to like recruit me or something, and they said they didn't want to drive me downtown because they might think that the Antifa guys might think that I'm an informant, which I could be, but I don't like working for the state either, so never mind that.
Blessed Lord, to the cross where thou hast died.